Ferrari, one of the most successful and iconic teams in Formula 1, has undergone a number of changes and improvements to its car since 2016. Here are some of the key developments. We start in 2016, Ferrari introduced SF16H car, which featured a longer wheelbase and revised suspension system compared to its predecessor. This helped to improve the car's stability and cornering performance. The team also introduced a new power unit that was more powerful and fuel efficient than the previous year's model. In 2017, Ferrari made significant improvements to its power unit, which helped to make the SF70 car one of the fastest on the grid. The team also introduced a new aerodynamic package that improved the car's downforce and reduced drag. This helped to improve the car's performance in high-speed corners and on long straights. 2018, Ferrari's SF71 car featured a revised aerodynamic package that focused on improving the car's cornering performance. The team also made improvements to the car's suspension system, which helped to improve its balance and handling. The power unit was also updated to provide better reliability and performance. 2019, Ferrari introduced the SF90 car, which featured a radical new front wing design that was aimed at improving the car's aerodynamic performance. The team also made significant improvements to the power unit, which helped to make the car one of the fastest on the grid. However, the car suffered from reliability issues throughout the season, which hampered its performance. Ferrari struggled with performance and reliability issues throughout the season, which led to the team finishing 6th in the Constructors' Championship. The team made a number of changes to the car throughout the year in an attempt to improve its performance, but these were largely unsuccessful. 2021, Ferrari introduced SF21 car, which featured a new power unit that was more efficient and reliable than the previous year's model. The team also made improvements to the car's aerodynamic package and suspension system, which helped to improve its balance and handling. These changes helped the team to finish in 3rd place in the Constructors' Championship behind Mercedes and Red Bull. In 2022, Ferrari was very careful of how to spend money. The floor has been changed during the pre-season testing. The new floor and the geometries of the diffuser aim to improve the aerodynamic performance during the season. So the exact change on the floor is that what is designed to fight the porpoising. We all know that Ferrari suffered in the opening Grand Prix. The result was the car lowered to the ground. Now we will see what kind of changes Ferrari has made in the Super SF23 for this season. The launch in this season was one of the best, and as soon as we saw the livery, we understood that they have been focusing on improving rather than overhauling the design. Why? Simply because last year's car was fast enough to set 12th pole position, then Ferrari kept almost the same design this year. Enrico Cardil said, "Our 2023 car is an evolution of the one we raced last year, but in reality, it has been completely redesigned. They have increased vertical downforce to adapt further to the new aero regulations. Their goal is to achieve the desired balance characteristics. The work that has been on the suspension on the front area is that they have moved to a low track road, while the front wing is different, same to the construction of the nose. This year's version is smoother than the last year's car. When it comes to the side pods, we see that the front lower corner is scalloped away. It doesn't make us certain, but we think that the radiator area has been moved out somewhere higher to the car's shoulder. It retains the contour of the bathtub at the top of the side pod, with a recessed depression that facilitates air extraction and channels it to the rear beam flange. The coolant rearrangement did not involve mimicking the barrel of the Red Bull's bodywork to an extracted outlet at the rear. Instead, the bodywork where the engine cover and the top of the side pod meet behind the cockpit remains open. Mercedes did something on her wing last year that the FIA declined and didn't accept. So let's see what was rearranged in Mercedes W14 this year that will make them as good as Ferrari and Red Bull. After that, Mercedes took the top spot in Formula 1 ranking for the best design of the season. We are going to focus on the technical side of this car and find out what are the strong points and the mega changes that Mercedes had made on its machine. Since Mercedes is on the hunt to catch up with Red Bull and Ferrari, they delivered the car, hopefully to make them go on the top of the two teams this season. Some changes will probably disappear and others will appear between now and the pre-season in Bahrain, as some teams prefer not to fully reveal their precious jewel until the winter test. Among the changes that may have gone unnoticed by some is the location of the cockpit or driver's shelf. The new location is pushed forward with 200mm precisely, which will certainly play on the balance and weight of the car. On the other hand, the technician and engineers will be able to place the engine and other elements closer to the middle of the car. Compared to the last year's car, this will increase the balance and reduce the impact on the grid during the corners. Try to get rid of the understeer problem that was stressful in 2022 for good. About the front wing so far, this is the element that has been most noticed, and it has undergone a major change and modification. Mercedes changed their philosophy on the front wing design. Last year, they were the only team that designed a front wing with a raised center section on the floorboard, which gave the technician the chance to criticize this section. So Mercedes have made sure that they have changed this philosophy clearly. Mercedes will probably stick with a narrow side pod design in the preseason, What they've did with the narrow sidepod gave them a cantilevered floor that is challenging for them. They should be able to deal with the managing of the stiffness. In fact, with an exposure of the edge floor, the maintenance of the rigidity is difficult, and with the rules of the effect of a ground, a less rigid floor will amplify the porter. That was one of many concerns for Mercedes. When it comes to weight, we know that Mercedes worked intelligently on the painting. The unpainted car saved them at least 3 kilograms. This will definitely make them faster, as we hope. Mike Elliott talked about the suspension that have been redesigned entirely from head to toe that gave them the new structure of the car. Therefore, to maintain the zero pods design of last year, the team understood that the suspension was the key issue if they wanted to make the zero pod works. The zero pods concept is the same. However, the side pods aren't. This means the work have been done differently. It is blocky vertical side pod inlet, so now it's more rectangular and doesn't curve. The side pod shape had been more rectangular than the last ones. The vertical allowance for regulations is used to make them higher than the last year. Also, if we look from underneath, we can see shortcuts that were found here to clear some airspace. In a different meaning, it is to help redirecting more air into the diffuser. More of the aerodynamics and technical improvements will be seen shortly. Now that the season is starting, Russell thought that 3 days of preparation is less than enough. He said, "We've had the chance to try the tires. If we haven't done it, that would mean 12 weeks far from the car from Abu Dhabi to Bahrain." Well, things to know about the preseason, only one car should be on the grid per session. The cars drove as they want, and everyone has access to the component of 5 Ferrari's tires. What catches eyes is certainly the painting and the colors on the cars. This has nothing to do with new designs. It's just there to help analyze the airflux on the car while they riding, and the regs are made to pursue the direction of air after they hit certain spots on the car. Whether the cars are ready or not, it's here the most wanted and awaited season of Formula 1 is finally happening. So stay tuned, we will bring for you the latest news. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like our video for support. See you next time.